So in just an absolute upset of monstrous proportions, Jeff Horn defeated Manny Pacquiao. Just did an incredible job. Went in there, bullied him, roughed him up, beat him to the body, pushed him around, shoved him around, bossed him around the ring. Pacquiao definitely did very well for himself as well. He definitely looked like he started a little bit slow the first round and a half, I'd say. I thought that probably after that first round and a half, his timing was back, spot on to where at the very least it was when he fought Timothy Bradley this last time and Jesse Vargas. But Jeff Horn wasn't going in there to just lay down. He was a huge underdog, but he wasn't fighting like it. He was fighting like a man on a mission, fighting like I've said it before, like with regards to Marcos Maidana and Floyd Mayweather. He was fighting to try and make his rep off of Manny Pacquiao. He didn't give a shit about pound for pound, about legacy, about, oh, you're fighting a legend, none of that. As far as he was concerned, that was just another man in front of him. Another man that's standing in the way of giving his family a better life, giving his children a better life. As he said in the aftermath of the fight that his wife is pregnant with their kid. I think he might have other kids as well. But, hey, props to the young man. Managed to pull off the big upset, biggest upset probably of the year. Definitely one of the bigger upsets of the last few years, at the very least, especially for the significance of how big this fight was. And I thought the judges got it right. I scored it 9-3 for Jeff Horn. Two of the judges had it the same way. I believe the third judge had it 115 to 113, so that'd be 7-5. I've talked to some people talking about that they scored it for Pacquiao, 7-5, and I think that's probably the most generous that you could be to Pacquiao, because frankly, I thought that he was waiting too long in a lot of those rounds to start firing off. It kind of reminded me a little bit of the first Timothy Bradley fight, where he was trying to win rounds in the last minute or the last 30 seconds of the round. But as opposed to the Bradley fight, where Bradley was kind of just making Pacquiao look bad by making him miss a lot, but not necessarily truly punishing him, Jeff Horn was punishing Pacquiao. Like, he was moving around the ring, bullying him around. There was definitely a couple of head clashes here and there, caused some cuts on Pacquiao's headline on either side. But at the same time, Pacquiao was leading with his head plenty of times as well. And, Jeff Horn definitely felt that on a few different occasions as they kind of went into the clinch. But, Horn did the damn thing, pulled off the big upset. And, we have a new WBO champion and a new player at welterweight, And this kind of just goes to show some of the things that I've ranted about in past videos of people saying, like, oh, I don't know who that is, though. He must not be nobody. I never heard of him, though. I never heard of anybody he fought, though. Then that's some shit that Stephen A. Smith himself was saying. Stephen A. Smith, a fucking disgrace to sports broadcasting as a whole. Talking about he's never heard of Ali. No, but that not just that he's never heard of Ali Funeka and Randall Bailey, but that nobody's ever heard of them. They're nobodies. Like, they're just tomato cans. Like, they're bums. Like, they were never top contenders or world champions. It was straight up garbage from Stephen A. Smith all night. Straight up garbage from Teddy Atlas, bitch ass Teddy Atlas, with his all his bullshit histrionics all night. Scoring every round for Pacquiao because he was talking all kinds of shit about Jeff Horn the entire fight, the entire night, talking all kinds of shit about Jeff Horn for months in advance. And so that's, his scorecard was colored with that hatred from the jump. So as far as I'm concerned, their entire opinions on this fight are fucking illegitimate. Pacquiao was talking about a rematch. Well, fuck it. I don't care if Horn does give Pacquiao a rematch. He's going to whoop his ass again. Because even though Pacquiao came on hella strong in that 9th round and almost knocked Horn out, even the ref was threatening to stop the fight, even though Horn was, he managed to recover at the very end of that round and Pacquiao was starting to tire out. Horn bossed the 10th round, the 11th round, the 12th round. Last I checked, those were the championship rounds. Horn went in there, bullied Pac in those rounds, bossed him around the ring, and just like he had done in the earlier rounds where he was able to win plenty of those, he went in there, he took the title. And he took the respect, he took the pride, and we have, like I said, we have a new player at welterweight. If they fight again, Horn should win again. I think that he has plenty to grow from. He went from fighting at essentially the journeyman level. No disrespect to Bailey and Funeka. Bailey was once a very good champion. Funeka was once a very good top level contender. Who had a couple of iffy decisions. That went against him against Guzman and Nick Campbell. But that said, taking a step from those guys who were great fighters or very good fighters half a decade ago to fighting a pound-for-pound guy, a pound-for-pound top 10 guy at the very least, in Manny Pacquiao, and overcoming him, he has nowhere to go but up. he has no place to go but up, unless he does some Tyson Fury shit and goes crazy. But I mean, I'm gonna set that aside. I think that he's a family man. I think that he's a good dude, and I definitely expect a very well prepared Jeff Horn from here on out. Whether he fights Pacquiao or whether he fights anybody else, whether it's Keith Thurman or Danny Garcia or Timothy Bradley or Errol Spence. I think he's live in every single one of those fights. I'm not saying that I'd favor him in all those fights, but for damn sure, just like he came in here against Pacquiao, not giving Pacquiao any respect whatsoever. He's not going to give any of those fighters any respect whatsoever. He's going to go in there to win it. He's going to go in there to dominate, to boss the fight, to make some paydays. He only made $500,000 for this fight tonight. Pacquiao made $10 million. He's got nowhere to go but up in terms of that. He's hungry. He finally got a little taste of the fame, a little taste of the fortune, and you could bet your ass that he's looking for some more in the near future. And I wouldn't put it past him to achieve and overachieve in getting that. Very, very good performance for Jeff Horn. Pacquiao, don't believe the hype about people saying that, like, oh, he's faded, he's not what he once was. I mean, sure, he definitely is older than he used to be. 38. He has, I think, faded he's faded slowly but surely. When Max Kellerman was saying that he think that Pacquiao would knock Mayweather out in a rematch, I can see where he was coming from. Mayweather's on the older side too, but I think that Pacquiao has aged extremely gracefully for a fighter of his stature. Extremely gracefully. And so, for Jeff Horn to come in there and do what he did still makes a hell of a fucking statement. A hell of a statement, because you can't necessarily guarantee that a Keith Thurman or an Errol Spence would have done that to Pacquiao. I wouldn't. That's for damn sure. Regardless of people wanted to talk about with Pacquiao being, dead and done, and Crawford would not dominate and knock him out and all that stuff. We don't know. Horn went in there and did the damn thing, though. He went in there, did the job. That's why they fight the fights. And, that's why I tell people, you can't necessarily count anybody out, especially if there's somebody that hasn't yet lost, and if there's somebody that hasn't necessarily fought at that level, but still has yet to prove himself, to maybe show those extra gears that he might not have ever had to show before. And he showed them in spades, man. He did a very good job. Very impressive victory for him. Like, it reminded me of like what Sean Porter's done recently in some of his recent fights. Just going in there, just manhandling the opponent, bullying them, not showing any respect, getting in there and getting the win, getting the victory. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff from Jeff Horn. Did the damn thing. And, I mean, hey, great fight. Great night of boxing. I'll throw in a little bit of shine to Jaron Akas, because I know this video is going to get more views than an Akas video unto itself would. I'll do one for him specifically, though. But Jaron Akas, showed up on the major stage here against Teru Kinoshita. Akas is a Manny Pacquiao promoted fighter. Manny Pacquiao's first champion that he's promoted. And I think that, if Manny Pacquiao is able to promote some more guys on Jaron Akas' level, that he'll have a very bright future as a promoter. I think Akas did the damn thing, did an excellent job in there, finishing off Kinoshita after closing up his eye, cutting him above his right eye, and, finally finishing him off with that brutal right hook to the body that dropped Kinoshita. Kinoshita, valiantly got up before the count of 10, but the ref had seen enough. Kinoshita had lost basically every round up until that point, was bleeding very badly, was looking hurt still from the punch even as he got up, valiantly to try and bravely continue on. The ref called it, and Akas is definitely another player in the super flyweight division. HBO has that big super flyweight triple header coming up. Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez versus Cesar Ketsuv for the WBC championship. And, pound for pound shit at stakes there too. Naoya Inoue putting his title, WBO super flyweight title on the line against, I just blanked on his name. Man, I'm forgetting his name now. I got to look it up, because I definitely got to give him his proper due respect and shine. I just, his name just completely escaped me for the moment. Antonio Nieves. He's going to be fighting Antonio Nieves. Another guy almost akin to Jeff Horn, kind of a fringe contender level guy, but never somebody that hasn't yet stepped up to that elite level, like a Naoya Inoue. Who knows? He might be able to pull something crazy off. I kind of doubt it, but you never know what's going to happen in the sport of boxing. And then Juan Francisco Estrada versus Carlos Cuadras to become the mandatory for the winner of Chocolatito versus Shisaket. I think all three fights are excellent, and Jaron Akas is definitely a live dog against any of those guys. Very much a live dog against any of those guys. Good power, good speed, hand speed, foot speed. Knocked out a guy in Kinoshita that even Zolani Tete, another excellent talent at the lower weights, now a bantamweight champion, He wasn't even able to knock out Kinoshita. Dominated him, yes, but didn't knock him out as viciously in the same fashion that Ankala's managed to do. And Ankala did the damn thing. Showed out in front of a major audience that he definitely deserved to be a part of. And I mean, hopefully he'll get those opportunities. I definitely want to see him mix it up against those other top names at super flyweight, maybe even Kaya Fai as well. And I mean, even though he turned down now Inoue for a New Year's spot in Japan last year, I could see the strategy in them doing that, because now he has nowhere to go but up as well. Because now he's been in front of American audiences, Australian audiences, UK audiences, so people are gonna know who Joe Nakalis is now, and then soon people are really gonna know who Naoya Inoue is now. So the money's only bigger for him against Inoue, against Gonzalez, against Estrada, against Cuadras, etc. From here on out. So good win for Ankala's, good win for Jeff Horn, good effort from Manny Pacquiao. Just good, great night of boxing. I was very entertained. Good stuff. And I mean, that's pretty much it. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.